fantastic to return to the Triumph Adventure experience for the day on the OSET bikes. The event was organised by the Microsoft Bike Club and we had a great mix of people. Some keen road riders, some with off-road experience and others who had literally never ridden a powered two-wheeled vehicle before. You don't need a motorbike licence to ride an OSET bike at the TAE's Brecon Beacons playground. In fact, you don't need any kind of motorcycling experience. The settings on the bike can be adjusted to limit speed, acceleration and throttle response, so they're the perfect platform to learn on. Of course, that learning curve can be pretty steep at times, as can the ramp up to this tyre obstacle. As with any two-wheeled activity, the occasional tumble is all part of the learning process. But once you get the hang of the bikes, they are a huge amount of fun. They don't weigh much more than an e-bike, so they're really manoeuvrable. With a huge rear sprocket, the gearing is set so that the bikes have an enormous amount of torque.
It's fun, isn't it?
Meaning you can lift the front wheel with a simple twist of the throttle, and acceleration is surprisingly rapid. The suspension is also very impressive, soaking up pretty much anything you attempt to ride over. Once we've got to grips with the basics, we headed out onto the trails, starting with some of the wider gravel and dirt track.
Okay.
Now, whilst it might look like I'm leaving John behind, top instructor Sarah was at hand to help him get his bike back up and running, so I thought I'd zip off and catch the group up, so we could give them a chance to catch up. It was a great excuse to give the bike the beans. Whilst they're no enduro bike, they've got a decent turn of speed at full throttle.
Yeah.
Did you try turning it off and on again? Lovely day for a ride through the countryside.
It certainly was a beautiful day, and here we can see Zoe has spotted a particularly rare Welsh orchid and has decided to stop and take a closer look at it.
No rush, right? Just take it. Have a breather.
Thank you.
That is a sloppy section, isn't it?
They're more of a surprise when everything else is dry. But when in doubt, feel free to put your feet down and paddle through stuff.
Oh yeah, just
Walk up here.
paddle. Yeah, you go past.
Start. Just keep looking towards the top of it is the trick. It's a steep one.
Having all nailed the flatter trail sections, it was time to step things up and try some steep descents and climbs. This is where the OSET bikes really come into their own, as if you're new to riding, they're easy to paddle along, and if you've got a bit more experience, it's remarkably rewarding to try and ride standing up and maintain a controlled descent. They also make quite an amusing squeaking noise.
more footwork than anything, that one.
Of course, what comes
Yeah,
down
really
must
grippy.
inevitably go back up again, and this requires a different set of skills, modulating the throttle whilst maintaining balance and avoiding the local flora and seeking out the grippy sections of the trail. Even at relatively low speeds, it's a decent workout. With the bikes being so light, they have less momentum than enduro or adventure bikes might, and I find they take more rider input and effort to keep balanced.
Can't park there, sir.
The OSET bikes also have a key safety feature, a magnetic cutoff switch attached to the rider's wrist, which 9 times out of 10 people completely forget about when something goes awry.
Pull. There you go.
That was lovely.
That's beautiful.
Alright. You okay?
Yeah, all good.
You're
The
right,
throttle
you?
just keeps sticking on.
The sticks on, is it? Let's have a look. It's like you were dancing with the bike, Eric.
It was good, wasn't it? It was impressive.
Dancing with the bike.
It was like a full pirouette.
Ballet or something.
I let it go and it did its own thing.
Eric was just doing some pirouettes.
Bit of red, sir.
Yeah.
You got it on film?
I did, yes. I think so.
As the day went on, everyone in the group was getting more confident, picking up the pace a bit and standing up on the footplates. It was really excellent to see.
Easy.
Trepidation levels about riding the bikes at obstacles was much reduced, and commitment levels were strong from everyone in the group.
Maybe that'll go on the grass. Ooh, commitment.
This meant that we could take on some faster trails with a good assortment of challenges.
Water splash. Approach with confidence.
Though I'm sure it would help if I had at least a vague idea of where some of the trickier trails went.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed watching Grant launch his bike off terrain that you'd think simply wasn't possible to ride, or at least wasn't a good idea.
Just looks bad in case you accidentally went straight on.
We finished the day back at the training area, where obstacles that felt daunting in the morning now seemed much more achievable, and even a lot more fun. You could really see the progress that had been made throughout the day, and it was great to see everyone enjoying themselves. And once we were all well and truly exhausted, it was time to pack up and head home.